Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. So in this video I'm talking about the Triumph Explorer 2017 and how to adjust the suspension settings on it.
RevelatorAlf.
Now if we come to the rear shock here, you'll note that there is the absence of a manual adjustment. If we come to the front suspension here, front forks, you'll notice there is an absence of any manual adjustment there. And basically it's got this TSAS, which it says there. And basically the TSAS is the Triumph semi-active suspension system. It's all electronic. So I'm going to quickly run through how you do that. Okay, so sat on the bike here and obviously the ignition's off. So basically there are two buttons which you really have to be aware of here. This is the selector button here, and then this is your scroll button here, and also the riding mode button there. So turn on the power, so it goes through its cycle, and you can see right now it's in road mode. So if I press the mode button here, okay, and then press the scroll down, I can change the road mode. Let's say I want to go to off-road. Okay, so that's the off-road mode, and you can see here that it's been selected and it's entered its off-road mode for the TSAS, and it's in one of the predetermined suspension settings there. Now you've got 9 settings here which you can control. So basically if I just go back to here, and then I go back to road mode, I'll quickly show that, let that enter. There we go. So now with the scroll button here, I scroll down, the scroll button here, I scroll down to the TSAS bar there. There we go. And select it. And then with the scroll button here, I can actually move up or down. So select, there we go. I can move up or down according to whatever ride I want. So there are 9 settings here. So you can go for sporty, harder suspension, to comfort, lots of softer suspension. And after a while it will time out. So once, let's say, so I select it, I reset it, select it again, therefore then that is reset. So if I quickly show you again, I select, if I go all the way to comfort, select it again, and there you can see it's gone all the way over. Now I prefer mine to be just 1 notch above between normal and sport. I select it, and that's where I normally go. Or depends if I'm looking at a different ride, so I'll just go select out between 1 normal and a little bit softer, but usually around the middle ground. So I'll just go to that. There we go, and then that's that. So that's how you adjust the TSAS on the Triumph Explorer, and that will adjust the front and rear rear suspension on the bike. Now you can also go and press and hold the selector there for a couple of seconds, and you go into the settings menu. If you scroll down here, and then you'll go into riding modes, select there, and then you can go into the different riding modes: rain, road, sport, off-road. So let's say for each individual one, I'll go into rain. You can scroll down and you can actually change the actual setting as you want it to be. So let's say if we go for mapping, for example, I select that, and then I can scroll between rain and road. Then I can select it if I want to. I don't want to change that. And then there we go. Right, I'm back at exit. Now let's see, I'll show you what I've done for my off-road. So off-road, if I select it, if I come down to my ABS, I've left pretty much in the off-road position. Map, I've left in the off-road position. Traction control, I've actually turned off, because you kind of need that a little bit extra when you're going through. You want a bit of extra power, and you don't want the engine to shut down a little bit. So you just want to spin the back wheel sometimes. You've got to modulate it with the throttle, but there you go. And then and then it's off. You can go into off-road mode, but I actually completely turn it off. And then it's TSAS. Well, you can have it whichever way you want it. I have it between comfort and just sort of neutral, normal setting there. And then it's a basic, just like you can reset it if you want to, but there we go. So exit, exit. You could also go to bike setup down here in the settings menu, bike setup. You can go to TSAS setup there, okay. Hill hold, which is another function I'll do in another video. Then I can change the indicators, whatever. ABS, you can enable your ABS or permanently disable it, whichever. I would always have it enabled, even for off-road most of the time, just have it. And then you can have your traction control. You can have enable it or disable it as an overriding function. So I would have it as enabled as an overriding function. Just in my off-road setup, I have it disabled. There we go. So that's your TSAS. That's your front and rear suspension, electronically controlled, semi-active suspension, and it's all via the the selector and the scroll, and on your screen here with your TSAS mode there as well. So that's your 9 settings for your suspension, from sport to comfort, and you want to play in between those. And then you've got your riding modes individually, which are presets there. And then if you want to change those presets, what you can do, you can go to press and hold the selector, go into your riding modes, there we go, and then you can change each individual one as well. Or you can go into bike setup and change the overriding setup as well. Right, I hope that's useful. So, you know, if you go through the manual, that shows you how to do it. I mean, you can change all the modes as you're on the roll. The only one that you can't change is when you're going from a road mode, any of the road modes, whether it's sport, rain, whatever, to the off-road mode. So the off-road mode, that requires the biggest change, so therefore the bike has to be stationary for that. Now you might sometimes get a TSAS error issue or a TSAS failure, whatever. And usually what that is, it's either a low battery voltage issue, or there's some kind of recalibration issue. So what you do, just follow the process in the manual, just switch the engine off, turn it back on, and then it will recalibrate itself. Right, I hope you found this useful. Catch you on the next video. Please check out the website at RevelatorAlf.com and subscribe, and follow me on Patreon as well. Thanks very much. Ta-da.